What's good, everybody? Before we get rocking and rolling with the Super Bowl preview, big ups to the members of the Patreon, patreon.com/veterans minimum, Arabia, Daniel Gibson, Mahul Patel, Thomas Robinson, Abel, Ben Kotzian, Christopher Velasquez, Derek Plades, Devin, Dylan, Jerry, Jordan, Mike, Nicholas Messina, and Nick Crummich. Remember, support for the show comes from Patreon. $1 American dollar. That's all we ask for.
Just one.
We get thousands of listeners, thousands of people following the social media. $1 fucking dollar. We can't get $1, George.
Just one.
We're not asking for too much. Just $1 American dollar. That's all. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. Today, like the episode says, it's the Super Bowl preview. We talk a little bit about where Cooper Kupp and Myles Garrett might go, but for the most part, it's a deep dive on the Super Bowl. Our favorite bets, Ursalitas, all that. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and play the theme music.
Yeah. With a message for my people. Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep sticking its home. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my pockets
That deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose.
Yes, we are back in the building. Veterans minimum, all things veterans minimum. God almighty, I am excited. I've been looking forward to this all day. At Nick Day is 10 is where you can find me on social media. Shout out to Mr. Brian Jones in the control room. Shout out to Antoine, the audio master, flashing the graphics and all that, making us sound good, look good, you know, the whole nine. All things veterans minimum are at veterans minimum. George, Super Bowl, baby.
It is Super Bowl week, dude. I echo the same sentiment. It has been a long day for me because we're recording this. It's 7:38 p.m. at the Wynn in Las Vegas, and all day today I had to engineer podcasts from my house. And dude, rarely do I have the days because I get to my job's pretty sweet, but rarely do I have the days where I'm like, man, I just want this shit to be over with, because I knew how important today was. I texted you about it today. I was like, bro, this isn't just the Super Bowl on Sunday. This is our Super Bowl today. And yeah, I'm fired up about it.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, for those of you that are in the Discord, and by the time you're listening to this, you'll see the posts on social media also. I took the Discord to say thank you to everybody. My goal has always been the same. Year over year, just do better than the year before. Whether it's in my personal life, whether it's in jiu-jitsu, whether it's the podcast, whatever it might be. I don't mind things taking a while to develop. I feel like you earn it more and it feels better when it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, duration has never been an issue. Perseverance and persistence, I think, are my two of the many awesome qualities that I have. Let's face it. But those two in particular, persistence has helped me a lot in this field, but it's hurt me when it comes to the ladies, because I fire off 4 or 5 texts in a row. I want an answer. I feel like I deserve an answer, right? I'm one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I say all that. I don't want to digress. I expressed my feelings to everyone in the Discord. Thank you very much once again for all the support. I can never, ever be able to repay everyone that has ever listened to the show, supported the content, then, now, and forever. I live a life that I've always wanted, and it is because of you people that listen to the show. And before we really get into the Super Bowl stuff, George, one of my favorite things about you is you and I do a lot of the same shit, right? Like,
yes.
We host shows, you've hosted your own shows. Now you're a big part of this. And then you're on the social media behind the scenes. You're running our social media. You're running, I mean, I don't want to give
Video
away all
editing.
your secrets, but like, you do a lot of video editing and producing. And also at one point you were like, bro, I can't add any more social media accounts that I'm managing
Fact.
on my phone, right? And I say all that because, you know, I was having a conversation with someone, and they're fresh in the content space. They've been doing it for about 2 years now, which for a lot of people, it's a long time. But for us, like, I've been doing, you know, this is 9.5 years I've been doing veterans minimum and being in the content space. To all content creators out there, you need to trust me on this. I have a reliable source, me. Do not neglect your audience. If it's 300 people, if it's 3,000 people, if it's 300,000 people, right? We all want 300,000 people to be consuming our content.
Very true.
But I have built my career off 500 people listening to my show. When I was back home in New York and I was grinding it away, I would have 500 people download every episode within 24 hours. And that has led me to everything here. And I say all that because it upsets me that people don't realize just what that could do. Like you could have a very successful, profitable career if you have those people that ride and die with your content and support your content. And now I'm super grateful that it's expanded to more than just that.
For sure.
But it's a pet peeve that I have in the content space, bro. I don't know how you feel about this.
Yeah, I would say that's the one thing that I can't control when you manage so many socials, just because I'm going on to social media to post, and then I have to go to the next account and the next account. But what I've found that it really has been a transformative experience on TikTok this year with VM is just going in there and doing a little bit of stirring the pot is exactly what it takes to get people viewing other videos of yours. And now we're starting to see a lot of people leave in the comments like, enjoy the content. And you would only say something like that if you've seen multiple pieces. So it's extremely important. And with every single show that I've managed, a lot of people don't do it. Like it's something that they overlook, and it's kind of like crappy. It's like, bro, I'm posting for you on social media. The least you can do is reply to some of these comments. It was low-key wild.
Yeah.
But unsuccessful content creators.
Yeah, because everyone feels some type of way when their content is only seen by 50 people or 100 or 150 people, whatever it might be. But I'm telling you, bro, you need to trust me on this one. From experience. Just don't neglect your audience, no matter what it is. If you're just posting on TikTok or just on Instagram or Twitter, or if you just started a podcast, I cannot express it enough that it goes an absolute long way. So I've just been feeling super grateful as of late, so I wanted to express that here as well. And like I said, you've probably seen the social media clip already. And if not, check it out. Like we said, all things Veterans Minimum or at Veterans Minimum. George.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the Super Bowl,
yes,
a couple of things. Some big names might be on the move in the NFL. I want to touch on two names in particular. Don't want to spend too much time because the main event is the Super Bowl. It's it's the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's big.
Yeah,
it's super.
Cooper Kupp and the Rams might. Well, the team has informed them that he might get traded this offseason. How do you feel about that? There's a guy that helped bring a Super Bowl, helped win my Grinch Kobe's. Thank you very much, Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
Super Bowl MVP plus 600. Go to my TikTok at Nick Deus on TikTok, and you see that I had said it before the show. So how do you feel about Cooper Kupp and the Rams potentially breaking up?
Watch Monday's show, and you will know ain't nobody safe, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody safe, okay? Like, it doesn't matter if you've won a championship in Los Angeles, you're on the chopping block. And to be honest, I think Sean McVay, 10 out of 10 decision. He's been pretty solid on his draft picks these past couple of years. He knows talent when he sees it. And I think he knows that Cooper Kupp, yes, pivotal locker room piece. Can you get rid of a glue guy like that? He's a steady receiver. He doesn't get any more steady than what Cooper Kupp has been these past couple of years, minus when he's had injuries and he's been out. The thing that I respect more, though, is Sean McVay's decision to contemplate this. He was going to cost the team $29.8 million and a cap space hit, but other than that, I don't think that he's worth that. And I think Sean McVay wants to get back to running the ball effectively and having faster type receivers.
I mean, I love how you started this entire rant with nobody is safe, because that's exactly the case. Even if you cross over to the NBA, Anthony Edwards just commented and said, yo, if Luka could get traded, I don't know if I'm buying a house in Minnesota, because I might go also. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Look, they've said in the past that NFL stands for not for long.
Yep.
And this guy has been a staple of the LA Rams for a very, very long time. This year, he had 67 catches for 710 yards and 6 touchdowns. This also coincides with him coming off a very bad year for his status. And then Puka Nacua being one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Yeah.
And they're like, we see that Stafford, game 1 last year, Puka caught like, 27 passes? It was something ridiculous when they played the Seahawks. I remember Rams +6, week 1, 2023. That was one of my favorite bets. And yeah, man, like, he's due $20 million in 2025 and then $19 million in 2026. So it's not 29, it's $39 million that he's owed over the next couple of years. And he's not far removed from being the Super Bowl MVP. But it just goes to show you that, bro, the game changes quickly, especially when you get north of 30. He's 31 now. Those injuries that used to shake off when you were younger, now it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
That hamstring, I'll be back in a week. Now I'm back in 3 weeks, and I still need another week to get back into game shape, kind of.
And just save me for the playoffs when it really matters. And still in the playoffs, like they didn't unleash him the way that we thought he would. But I think it's Sean McVay's. He's not stupid.
Yeah,
I would honestly put him up there, top three coach in the league. Andy Reid, Harbaugh, and him.
Yeah, I like that list, man.
Yeah.
I like that list a lot.
And so I know that he has a firm grasp of that organization as far as the moves they make. So, yeah.
Can I tell you a place I think he would be absolutely fucking perfect to go to?
Can I guess it? Can we say it at the same time?
Sure, let's
Ready?
do it.
3, 2, 1.
Bengals.
Patriots.
AFC?
Okay, you're right.
Yo, listen, so
I like yours better.
Cooper Kupp going to Cincinnati, and I know Bengals fans are probably like, yo, fuck that guy, because
Right.
he won Super Bowl MVP, scored 2 touchdowns in that game against them in the Super Bowl. But yo, just hear me out, right? Jamar Chase is going to stay. They're going to re-sign him. T. Higgins is going to walk, because I don't know how they could keep both of them.
Right.
Because a lot of reports are saying that he might command $35 million a year. And you know what, bro? I think it's justified. Especially, he was a punching bag earlier in the year, and I hope he recovers from his injury. But Brandon Ayuk, we had that whole segment that people loved of both of them walking into it like, yo, what the fuck? If he's making 30 plus million, I definitely got to get it. The only way the Bengals could probably retain both of them is if they force them to start a podcast, and then the Bengals pay like $100 million to the podcast and be like, yo, listen, we're going to give you guys $100 million
Genius.
a year. Isn't it fucking genius? And then we'll be like, but on the books, you'll be a $15 million wide receiver. That's the way. Bengals Media, LLC, you fire that shit up, you keep them there. But on a serious note, I think they keep Chase, because Burrow and Chase, that's a very special tandem going back to them at LSU.
Yeah.
But then Cooper Kupp as a slot guy, they were really successful when they had a Tyler Boyd. He was like the unsung hero of that offense. And a possession guy, I think he would be perfect for the Cincinnati Bengals.
I like it. I don't think he would look good in the colors. I could get used to it for sure. Like orange on the beard. Is there any Bengals player that you can remember in history with the scruffy beard and blonde? He's like the first of his kind in that uniform combo.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
There's probably a couple offensive linemen that had the look.
Yeah, maybe like a defensive tackle or something, but not like that.
Yeah. I'm just saying it could be. I can't visualize it.
Yeah,
but you could be right.
I think there would be perfect. I think he would be dope over there. So if he was to go to the AFC North, one guy is definitely going to leave the AFC North. At least he's going to leave Cleveland. Myles Garrett. He's the other guy that I wanted to discuss and run by you.
Yeah.
He said that he wants to chase a Super Bowl ring, and we know Cleveland ain't nowhere near that. Where would you like to see him go?
Well, that was the thing that made that comment interesting, because there's teams that I feel are on the rise that I think he could be like a key contributor to. Like I think him in a vrabel situation with the Patriots, and Drake May coming off.
A Pats fan?
No, well, Drake May just came off a stellar Pro Bowl performance, and I don't think we can overlook. He was just sharp back there. He was calm. He looked like a 14-year-old boy. He looks mad young, bro. Like, it's crazy.
He got the baby face still, right?
He's got the baby face, and it's going to be that career evolution a little bit that Brady had, where it was like, oh, you watched him grow into a man, multiple Super Bowls. Myles Garrett to the Patriots. I would like to see that move, but it's not going to happen. He wants to go to a contender. Why not find a way to get him on the 49ers?
Sheesh, that would be crazy. That would be crazy with all the talent that they have on the defensive line, bro. And I did not plan this to be this effortless of a segue, but you know who I think he would be perfect with? Kansas City. And think about this. I don't think they re-signed Chris Jones again. He was pretty emotional during media week.
Right.
You let him go. You bring in Myles Garrett. Because one thing that you need to do when you're a team like Kansas City is you got to find a way to motivate these guys that have won.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? You bring in a guy that is starving to win, and they could feed off that energy, right? So I think Myles Garrett going to Kansas City would be pretty insane. And I think, they're not really paying anyone. And who knows if Kelsey retires? So that'll free up Kelsey and Chris Jones. You could take on the money from Cleveland.
Right.
And I want to say, I'm pretty sure that in this scenario, it might be something similar to Russell Wilson, where Denver paid all of his salary this year. And I think the Steelers pay like $1 million, $2 million for him for a starting quarterback.
Right.
Usually everyone's getting 35 minimum.
Facts.
Right. So maybe it's something where Kansas City acquires Myles Garrett, but in 2025, the Browns are paying 97% of the contract, but then in 2026, they'll have to take it. And then by then you can maneuver, because bro, they're not paying any. It's Mahomes is being paid. And honestly, Mahomes, they signed them to that contract for $500 million. And they were smart because they're like, all right, look, he's making $50 million now, but now, Jordan Love is making 55. Trevor Lawrence is making 55. And Pat Mahomes, I think he's in an era now where like he has all these investments off the field because of what he's done on the field. He has a $500 million contract. He's like, I think I might take less to help the team. But I want to say like, I'm going to take $20 million less, but I'm going to get another offensive lineman, Myles Garrett. And maybe we could get, in a trade, we could get Garrett Wilson. Then I'd like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
we'll just follow their drafting strategy of look at the 40 times and choose number one.
Yeah. And bro, I love that you mentioned the draft thing, because one thing that I think Kansas City does not get enough credit for is you look at this roster, it's all drafted guys. It's all drafted guys on the offensive line, the running backs. I know Kareem Hunt left, and I think we might have spoke about this a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Mahomes drafted, Worthy drafted, Kelsey drafted, Creed Humphreys, like I said, Hunt and Pacheco. You go on the defensive side, the entire secondary outside of Reid, who they acquired, drafted. Bolton, the linebacker, drafted. Karlaftis, drafted. It's This team has McDuffie. This team has hit home run after home run.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, bro. They know what they're doing. So
they get them cheap.
They get them cheap, and then the window just keeps extending as long as you have Mahomes. And like we've said, every year he's been a starter. They've been in the AFC title game bare minimum, and that is what the floor is for this team.
Truth.
So please remind me next year when I tell you like Bengals and fucking Bills are in the AFC title game. I give you permission to stand up and come and slap me in the face and be like, Kansas City, bro. I got the red on. You got the red on.
Yeah, I did it on purpose.
On sure. Brand, So I just think Myles Garrett, just to circle back just a little bit, I think he would be great on Kansas City.
he is obviously heading into this offseason is the most valuable player on the market. Everybody's going to be offering him, bro. And he says like, I want to go to a competitor, but I feel like there's a way that maybe a Miami woos him, right? Like, hey, you've played in shit weather your entire career. Why don't you come down to Miami and help our defense out a little bit? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of options for him. But if he's truly about that life, watch him go to Buffalo. That would be wild. Because then you have two alphas on either side. Oh,
Yeah.
that's dangerous.
Yeah, Buffalo will be interesting too, man, because they're another team that's not really paying anyone crazy outside of the quarterback. They're going to have to make a decision on James Cook. You know, they got a couple of guys on defense, but they I don't want to say revamped, but the defense wasn't as it was getting pretty lit up. Yeah, it was getting carved up. Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty Swiss cheese there. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be touching on these topics as we move forward this offseason. Because, you know, before you know it, dude, like, bro, football has become a 365 sport.
Facts.
And that's what's really cool about it, right? So we got the Super Bowl this week. We get a 1 week break, and then it's the combine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Guys being rumored to leave. Then you have free agency 2 weeks after that. Who signed? Oh shit, that's gonna take about 2-3 weeks. Who's the best available guy?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the draft. Worst time of the year, draft grades. I fucking hate it, can't stand it, but we all do it.
Yep.
Gives us a chance to talk about football. Then May, you have OTAs. Holy shit, this guy didn't show up. Does he care about his team? It's like, yeah, he does, bro. But like, he's the number one wide receiver and he had a vacation plan. So let him enjoy himself. Like, no, Jamar Chase, you could skip OTAs. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right. And then you go into June, you have the mandatory mini camp. Or you have like the mandatory OTA, then you have a little break, then you come back as training camp. And before you know it, we're back in the swing of things, you know? So football has done a really good job of becoming a 365 sport. But it's time. It's time for the Super Bowl. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a banger of a game, though I do not think it's going to be a repeat shootout of what the game was a couple of years ago. As we dive into this, I could tell you right now, the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most, George, is the offensive and defensive lines for both teams.
Agreed.
Because the way playoff Spags, our boy, helped us beat the undefeated undefeated Patriots way back in the day. The glory days. It's been so
I just
long.
saw a post earlier today. It was like the greatest throw in Super Bowl history, and it was Eli Manning to Mario Manningham splitting the cover two, dropped it in the bucket with the.
That was the second Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah,
in Indy. I agree. I think that's probably the greatest Super Bowl. It's that and like the Santonio Holmes, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
that one was pretty sick
too.
But so playoff Spags, right? Like the way he designs blitzes, it allows the defensive linemen to get one-on-one matchups. So you got Chris Jones, you have Karlaftis, and then you have the blitz packages, right? So not just D-line, the defense, the blitz packages, because then you have Fangio that does the same kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And both of these offensive lines are stellar. The last time these two teams matched up, I remember the Eagles were coming into the Super Bowl with the most sacks in NFL history, and they got 0 sacks on Mahomes. Right. And the way the Chiefs have changed their offense through the years, now it's a lot of like West Coast dink and dunk kind of stuff, a lot of check downs, because even though they have the speed, they just figure, let's just get the ball out quick to our speedsters and see if they can make a move. Like
and that's what you do when your offensive line. I know you said they've played good this year. I just think that offensive style allows you to make it seem like your offensive line is really a lot better than what it is. But we're going to have to see a lot of those matchups. Like one of my favorite players going on the Eagles defensive side is Nolan Smith. I think as far as like speed edge rushers, I'm really interested in seeing him, and whether it's the right tackle, Juwan Jones, Juwan Jones, or if it's Joe Thuney on the other side, where Nolan Smith to me is going to make a play in this game. He is, if you look at the sack odds, his odds are pretty nice right now. I think he's like hovering right around the middle of the pack. It's always plus money on the over under half a sack. I would look into that for him. They use him on a lot of the passing downs. So how do you feel about that? Like the Chiefs had to move Joe Thuney to left tackle. And have you like seen him play left tackle at all? I know it's like a weird position to watch on the field, but now ever since Junior's played it, like I kind of dial into it. He looks like a guard playing tackle.
Yeah. I wanted to also mention that is Jawan Taylor.
Yes.
Trey Smith is the guard. They both play on that. So you just combine two players. It happens.
I said Nolan Smith.
No. I'm saying Jawan. You said Jawan Smith.
No. I said Nolan Smith, and then Jawan Taylor is the right tackle.
Right. So then
Yes.
I'm the idiot.
No. You're fine. You're fine. We're confusing people. here.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith.
Okay.
He wears a basketball number 3, I believe.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No, he's really good.
He's a dog.
He's definitely good. One of my friends bet him to have the first sack in the game at 12-1. Which was really interesting. I have another one that I think you're going to like when we get to the props portion of the show, which, by the way, also check out the episode we did with Bo Krakenberger. Fucking banger of a show. We also talked about the Luka trade over there. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please check that out. Him and George fucking love Harrison Butker this week. And they're all in on the kicker props. But to your point, though, right? Like, I agree. I think Joe Thuney, it's a big ask, man, to just move out there. Now, the one thing that's different from what happened with Kansas City with the Bucks was they had 3 new starters. He's still a starter. It's just he's playing a different position.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the Super Bowl, they had 4 new positions on the offensive line with new guys there, right? And 3 of them were backups going into that Super Bowl. I think it's going to come down to the trenches, man. It's going to come down to the trenches. That's the matchups that I'm really looking forward to because you know, Kansas City's on the other side because they had said it when they played them the first time. When they played them 2 years ago, like, bro, all this talk about the most sacks. Like, what about Chris Jones? What about a rookie Karlaftis?
Mm-hmm.
What about us? You know what I mean? So I think that's something that's definitely going to come into play.
I would just to add into that because it's all the same thing. Like the major matchups. What do you think we're going to see at center, or who's going to play center for the Eagles?
I think it's going to be
Juergens.
Yeah.
I always feel this way because it's like the Super Bowl and it's like you're not holding anybody out.
Dude, Rod Woodson tore his ACL and then came back and played in the Super Bowl 5 months later.
Yeah, T.O. with
the broken leg. You'll find a way to play.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. They'll shoot him up on some good drugs. They won't be feeling anything. But dude, like Chris Jones to never have had a Super Bowl sack. I think it's a play that you gotta make, especially with how uncertain we are of the center's health, Juergens, and then even Dickerson, if he moves back to his normal spot, like he was kind of fucked up after the last game. So it's late in the season. They've played a lot of football. Chris Jones himself is looking to like he's older, you know? It's not if you look at the highlights from the last Super Bowl, Chris Jones looked like he was eating salads. Now Chris Jones looks like he's been on a steak diet, maybe some ice cream before bed. You know, but he's later in his career, a couple of Super Bowls. I don't blame him. Maybe that's sack fuel. He was eating salads last Super Bowl, eating ice cream this Super Bowl, you get sacks. Who knows? But that's the matchup that I'm most looking forward to as far as the Eagles' offensive line. But man, there's a couple other ones. Is there another matchup that you have highlighted that you're looking out for?
It's not so much of a matchup, but you know what I think the biggest X factor is in this game and in almost honestly any game it's usually, but I think it's magnified because of the stage that the Super Bowl is in. I'm calling it the other guys.
I like this.
Who are the other guys that are going to step up? Because let's just look at last year's Super Bowl, for example. Bro, there was a strong case for Jawan Jennings to be Super Bowl MVP at one point. Scored a touchdown, threw a touchdown, had a couple catches. No one thought on a team that had Kittle, Ayuk, Samuel, McCaffrey. It's the other
Purdy.
guys, right? It's the other guys. So to me, is it a Dotson? Is it you could probably put DeAndre Hopkins in this category.
Yeah.
Right? It's the big name, but if you look at his props, 10.5 now receiving yards.
Right.
You have Hollywood Brown, you have Kelsey, you have Worthy, you have Kareem Hunt and Pacheco, and you have Mahomes. Who are the other guys that are going to step up? Because we know the big names are going to command the attention. They're going to command the coverage. We know what A.J. Brown is going to do, and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and Barkley. Is it going to be the random 4 touches Gainwell's going to get? Is it going to be the random your boy Noah Gray catching a pass?
I'll be nuts.
That's to me the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's like who the other guys. That's what we're calling this one. I know there was a movie called The Other Guys also, but to me,
Great movie.
it's fantastic movie. The People's Champ was featured in it, and if you have a wrestler in any movie, to me it's a plus or on Rotten Tomatoes, whatever the fucking grade is that they give out. But on a serious note, I think it's the other guys. Who's going to be the Jawan Jennings? The fucking let's look at my team for example. It was Mario Manningham when you had Hakeem Nicks and fucking Victor Cruz, and then when you go to the others, it was fucking David Tyree. Caught 2 passes.
Facts.
Bona fide special teamer.
Was Plaxico not on those teams?
Yeah, he was on that team. He was on the first team, and then he shot himself and cost us a chance to read.
I noticed you didn't name him in the first grouping of receivers. So,
well, it was in the second year. So the second Super Bowl, it was Victor Cruz and Hakeem Nicks, and then Mario Manningham.
Got it.
And then in the first one, it was Amani Toomer and Plaxico Burress. And then it was like, oh, David Tyree scored a touchdown and then the helmet catch, right? So to me, it's the other guys. And as you're watching the game, whichever other guy steps up, you're going to probably lean towards that team and winning.
I like this. I like this. You named a lot of offensive players, and I have one defensive player that I found as an other guy. Because to me, this game, when we're talking about X factors, it's going to come to, okay, can the Chiefs slow down Barkley, but not only slow him down, but you cannot miss 3rd-level tackles.
Yeah.
If you miss that 3rd-level tackle, you're done. It's shot. Barkley overs are going to hit like crazy. So you have the safety, Brian Cook, who does have Super Bowl experience. He was there 2 years ago when they played the Eagles, and he has that, at least it's not going to be the lights are extra bright. He didn't get a lot of snaps the first go round, but now he's stepping up into a pretty big role where it's you as Brian Cook's going to sleep the rest of this week. I find it very tough to believe he doesn't envision 26 running right at him. And Nick, you have to be the one in the dream to decide whether it's a dream or a fucking nightmare. And so you got to make it a nightmare for Saquon Barkley. And if you are, having these thoughts, I think he can be successful, but the game's going to come down to him. He's going to have to make a couple of tackles. And that's who I'm watching out for the most. He's had a pretty good year so far. 72 tackles. He's missed 6 tackles. Hasn't missed, he missed one against Buffalo, but I'll let it slide. But you can't miss one this week. So he's a part of the other guys on the defense. Definitely the mismatch in the room.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I think that's a good one too, because it's gonna be that. Like I'm also thinking about Malcolm Smith had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl against the Broncos way back, in 2013. So you're right, and especially to your point, it's the second level there, or third level, and you miss any tackles there,
dude. It's an entire defense. Nick Bolton is another. Like you can't make a mistake against this Eagles defense.
Yeah,
it's gonna be That was one of my other matchups to watch, was going to be Nick Bolton and pretty much every offensive lineman. But when the Eagles try to get on the edge, Mailata goes straight to the second level. And if you got Jordan Mailata like pinning you down, it's GG's, bro.
It's GG's there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready to give out some picks on the game?
Yeah, bro.
All right. I want to start off with my Ursulita. Ursulita for me is going to be the under 49. And the reason why, George, it's Ursulita is because the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, they combined for the most points in Super Bowl history. And everyone is talking about that. Then you have both the Chiefs and the Eagles coming off their best offensive scoring performances of the year. So the last time we saw both these teams, 55 points by the Eagles and 32 points by Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is hammering the over. Consensus, 82% of the tickets coming in on the over. It opened up at 48. It got to 49.5. Now it's down to 49. I think it's going to touch 50. I'm also hoping it does. I'm waiting, following the trend that I've said for years. If you like overs, bet them early. If you like unders, bet them late. So I'm going to wait until kickoff to make the bet. I told you on the Monday show I cashed out. I cashed out Chiefs in the under 48.5, and now it's at 49. I feel good about it. So I'm hoping. If it goes back to 48.5, I'm probably just going to bet it again, the same bet that I made. Right. But for me, the reason why it's Ursulita is because of the case I just made. So much talent on offense for both teams. Last time we saw them on the biggest stage, it was fireworks. It was an exciting game. And then they're coming off monster conference championship games. I just think for me, Ursulita, it's going to be gross. It's always gross when you bet unders, but Ursulita is the under 49.
I liked it when it first opened up at that number at the under spot. Just based on the only reason why that happened in that Super Bowl is just because I don't feel the defenses at all match the quality and level that we're seeing in this Super Bowl. It's really good on good across the board as far as power rankings are concerned, with KC's offense being the one weak spot, right? I like it. Does it make you want to make this bet? Have you ever thought about putting one of the kickers to win Super Bowl MVP?
Never.
Like in a game full of unders? Or like if you're like really, okay, this is under central. They kick 6 field goals. They end up,
man,
something wild.
It has never, ever crossed my mind. Wow, we've made dumber decisions. Who do you want to bet on? Do you want to go with Bucker?
Harrison Bucker, yeah. Dude. I saw it was at 200 to 1. I was like, interesting. They get points, bro. They get points. Unfortunately, in this game, though, I think we're in the era of teams are not valuing the points. At least I know the Eagles don't. So that's why I wouldn't want to put Jake Elliott in. Like, ain't no shot that Nick Sirianni isn't firing away on some stupid ass 4th downs this game, which is good for your under.
Yeah.
You need it.
Nah, for sure, man. For sure. What's your Ursulita?
My Ursulita is Patrick Mahomes to throw an interception at plus 120.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He likes giving the ball to the other team, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
He's thrown 5 Super Bowl interceptions. The only Super Bowl where he hasn't thrown an interception was against the Eagles. And something just tells me they're going to get Pat a little rattled. It might be a tip pass. I don't think it's going to be Pat's fault. It'll never be Pat's fault. And even if it is Pat's fault, it's fine. He's forgiven. But plus 120 for that, and he's thrown 5 in 4 Super Bowls. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's my Ursulita. The reason why it's Ursulita is because I'm obviously ripping the Chiefs colors right now. So that's ugly that doesn't correlate in me putting in a Chiefs bet. But I also, I'm following the numbers here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that pay?
Plus 120. It's plus money. So that's why I'm like. And then I know it doesn't correlate, but doesn't it make you feel a little bit better? Like if something bad is going to happen, let me at least get a little bit of reprieve from, the man just made a mistake.
Yeah.
I still love the Chiefs.
Well, it's interesting because that kind of could be a hedge that could still work in your favor. Like
facts.
If you assume he's going to have a turnover, probably going to benefit the Eagles. Not probably, definitely going to benefit the Eagles. So maybe it's like a plus number that could hedge off your Chiefs bet.
Very true.
So it's an interesting approach to take.
Yes.
I'm not mad at it. At it. I don't agree, but I understand.
I like that.
In this economy, actually, no, let's save in this economy.
Yeah, bro. We're going to get wild with that one.
Yeah. I'm going to just get it out the way now. My toxic one is the over.
Okay.
I just feel like, so I should have combined Ursulita and the toxic one together. So I'm not going to waste everyone's time again. Just, rewind about 3 minutes and you could hear basically, I should, poor hosting by me. Ursulita and toxic one, it's the same thing. I love the under as Ursulita.
Yeah.
Toxic one, I'm just worried about the over. So what would be your toxic one?
My toxic one is Saquon Barkley to score 2 touchdowns.
Whoa. Okay.
Listen,
so why is this toxic?
Why is this toxic?
Yeah.
Because he's, pretty much stamped that that's going to be a for sure thing throughout this entire season. I'm giving him one. But at plus 250 to put it in for him to score 2, which is what I think it was at on FanDuel, it's not worth it. And a lot of people are going to put that in. I just see them getting down into the red zone and utilizing Jalen Hurts and the tush push. And I'm not saying he won't score 1. Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore want to keep him around for next year. It's the man's birthday, for Christ's sake. He's going to get 1. I just don't think he's going to get 2. So it's toxic. Be careful.
I like it. It's hard, man. I mean, his props are being hammered. By the way, did you know the NFL awards show is today, meaning Thursday when they're listening to this? I thought it was Saturday, but it's tomorrow night.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we got to alter our plans.
Yeah, dude.
Just a tad bit. Which I actually prefer because UFC is on this weekend and I'm excited. Our boy Cody Steele, he'll be on the pod sometime soon, but he's making his debut at the pay-per-view. But yeah, just something that I was watching TV and I was just like, oh shit, okay, they're doing it on Thursday because they always do it the night before.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder why, And also another crazy thing I saw, apparently Josh Allen is winning MVP, which would get me very excited.
Wow.
Yeah. As of last week, I saw one very, very popular and respectable group have MVP odds up, and he was minus 450. So I got excited when I saw that because I'm holding a plus 850 on Josh Allen from the preseason. I feel really good about Barkley because they haven't put up Offensive Player of the Year. So it's almost a shoo-in. Hopefully. No dumb shit, NFL. Don't you fucking dare. Because I've been talking mad shit. Don't you fucking dare, NFL. I'll come down to New Orleans. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll be very upset. Don't ruin it.
I'll have to play that part of the crack interview where you were like, pound for pound, the best. Yeah. We'll slow-mo that for sure.
I was like, you're only talking to the 3-time reigning Offensive Player of the Year picker.
You even know who you're talking to right now? I fucking do this.
Yeah. I've been talking mad shit for a year now. So please, NFL, do not fucking ruin it for me. Okay, let's go to
Trust me.
Dallas Goedert is scoring a touchdown.
I like it.
And, the more I was looking at it, I might stay away from his yards because it's the most heavily wagered over.
It's inflated.
Bill was showing us he was getting emails from fucking sports books being like, we have a huge liability on his overs. But I like him to score a touchdown. Chiefs, one of the worst defenses in the NFL against the tight end inside the red zone. So I think that could be something that could be really interesting for Jalen Hurts. He leads the Eagles in red zone targets all year. Plus 310? Sign me up.
Yeah, bro.
Sign me up. And that was the thing that was really cool about the conversation with Bill, because I knew that Goddard, Kelsey, Barkley props were going to be through the roof and priced up so high and so heavily wagered. But also the football savant that I am knows that that's the best way for these teams to win and attack the defenses.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is the popular name, but it's also the right approach for the offense to take. So it's been like a hard balance, but the fact that Goddard's yardage at 53.5 right now is the most wagered. It's even more than Barkley to score a touchdown, which is crazy, like on a per ticket basis.
Interesting.
So to me, I think trust me, let's end it with a bang, yo. A nice plus 310. Let's go with Dallas Goedert to score a touchdown plus 310. Dom, clip that shit.
Boom. Trust me, I really do like yours, because they ran something the other week where he was running up the seam. He's just so tall, bro. Any jump ball versus the Chiefs secondary, I mean,
yeah,
he's gonna.
And dude, even against the Commanders, right? Against the Commanders, he had that one that went right through his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So, like he gets
those targets.
He gets those targets. Yeah.
So I like that one. But for me, my trust me is a player to record an octopus at 10-1.
It happened last time
these two met up.
Yeah.
And
can you explain what that is?
The octopus is when you score a touchdown and then you proceed to score the 2-point conversion, thus giving you 8 points. 8 octopus is what the bet is called. So it's at 10-1 odds, obviously for a reason. I have to highlight what I think the path is going to be. And the path definitely comes from the Eagles side. I think it could be a Saquon Barkley touchdown and a Saquon Barkley 2-point conversion. Do I think that the Eagles would run the ball twice? No, I think it would be like a Saquon scores on a run and then they run like a pass play where he just is wide open for some reason. And then you also have Jalen Hurts. I think if Jalen Hurts scores on a tush push, they run a 2-point conversion and he runs it in the end zone. That's how the octopus happened. And the last Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, it happened on the very last drive to tie the game, to even make it competitive at the end. So I like this bet a lot. For the Chiefs, I can't necessarily envision who would get an octopus. Maybe Travis Kelce. But I don't necessarily like Kelsey's matchup with the Eagles defense. I think he's going to have a rather quiet day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he just commands so much attention, and I think that's the thing that is going to surprise and shock a lot of people. Will he show up in a very big moment? And this take will sound like I'm an idiot, but yeah, I don't think that is the Chiefs' best method of attacking the Eagles defense. I think the best way of attacking the Eagles defense is giving them a taste of their own medicine and hitting Kareem Hunt early and often, controlling the clock. They're not a big play team. And so I think it really is going to be like a roles reversed situation. And I like Andy Reid in that matchup any day of the week.
Wow. Interesting, man. One thing about Kelsey, in 4 career games against the Eagles, 25 catches, 251 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And the last time they played in Super Bowl 57, 6 for 81 and a touchdown. Went over on his yards, scored a touchdown, under on his catches. Disclaimer, depending on when you bet it, 5.5 the Monday after the conference championship games, closed at 7. So again, just be careful. It happened with Cooper Kupp with his yards too when they won the Super Bowl. Bro, his yards were like 104. It closed that. Remember, he had the Triple Crown that year.
Yeah.
Listen, I like the octopus. It only happened one time in the Super Bowl, and it was Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, I'm down. Listen, dude, when it comes to the Super Bowl, I probably spend about $150 on really fucking stupid bets.
That's the way I broke it down. I told Cameron, I was like, I'm going to spend $300 this Super Bowl, 150 going on the King for the three-peat, and then 150 on random props that I, feel strongly about.
And listen, bro, for all you professional bettors out there, we get it. They're dumb.
Yep.
But how many Super Bowls do we have?
One.
We have one a year, right? Like, I'm turning 34 in March. Well, how many Super Bowls I got left? Like 50? God willing.
I don't know. With the way the NFL's going, they're probably going to try to add a second one.
Add a second one?
Yeah, they're going to add
we
a
don't
summer
have many.
Super Bowl.
We're going to have 9 months off now.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do some dumb bets.
Oh, we're firing, boys.
Yeah, we're firing away. So listen, have some fun, Don't bet the coin toss if you have to lay juice. You idiots. Don't do that.
Come on now.
Just grab your friend and be like, bro, what do you got? Tails? I'll take heads. $20. Better to do that than pay minus 115 on a fucking coin toss. Don't be an idiot. Just grab your boy and be like, hey man, let's just and what I'll always do is be like, yo, what do you want to pick? I'll just take the other side. Why not? Let's have some action.
Right.
I'd rather just pay it to my boy who will probably buy me a beer anyway. Fact. That's usually what I would do with my friends when we would watch it out. Just do that. Don't lay minus 115 on a coin toss. Don't lay minus 105 on a coin toss. If it's even, I'm cool with it. But just grab your friend, do it that way. All right. That's my coin toss rant, which if you go back to 2015, it's been the same thing every year.
That's good.
It's like, don't do it.
That's a good rant.
Okay, what do we have next?
The next one is the Becky. Which one do we think is the sexiest?
I am fucking doubling down on DeAndre Hopkins. All you guys in the comments that have been absolutely cooking me, D-Hop is going to deliver. It's now down to 10.5 yards. Come on, bro. It could be one catch.
Facts.
It could be one catch. He put out that amazing message to kids, don't give up on your dreams. He did this for the two women in his life, his grandmother, his mother, his family members, all that. And he's like, I've been through the ups and downs. I'm in the big stage. I got some sources, legit. I think he's going to have a moment. All right, plus 650 to score a touchdown. Remember I said stupid bets? This isn't stupid. We're fucking doing that.
Oh, Nick. Yeah. No, it's not stupid at all.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it on the show with Crack, but I'll reiterate it. The past three Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl wins, a player with odds of 5-1 or higher have scored a touchdown. You had Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman. And Pat Mahomes scored one at 5-1. So it happens. If it's not him, then it's Noah Gray and Juju Smith-Schuster. But, if you're following the trends, it's going to be one of them. So I like that bet. And it has gotten a lot of traction. Everybody, you were telling me there was like NFL players.
Yeah, a bunch of NFL players.
Which, by the way, NFL players, there's some dogs, bro. They don't care. They come straight to the source. The best vibe on the internet. I can't even say it. So
yeah.
That way they like it.
Hell yeah. And listen, most of them are out the league now too. So might as well just degen with the rest of us.
Facts.
Yeah. So for me, that's Becky. What do you got?
My Becky is no team to score 3 unanswered scores.
Ooh.
So that's at plus 130 when I saw it last. I just think this is going to be more of a back and forth, duke it out. No way that a team. I like the 3 because it eliminates the before the half scoring and then getting the ball after halftime and then scoring again, which is like the cheat way to get more than 2 unanswered scores. But 3, I fuck with 3. So that's my Becky. And if it happens, then that means we're watching a really good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So why not get plus money for a really good show? Is the way I look at it.
Hell yeah. Can I just ask you a question? Is in this economy have to do with the game? Like, is it a pick on the game? Because mine is.
Mine is a pick on the game, yes.
Okay, so let's close with that.
Okay.
What I want to do now, George, is
Ooh, okay.
rapid fire bets.
Let's do it.
We're doing rapid fire. I'm going to list what the bet is. You just give me your answer.
Okay. And then I'll hit you on the other side with it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Coin toss.
Tails.
Heads. $20? Just us two?
Boom.
All right, let's do a little. $20. And again, we've spent money on worse. So $20. First touchdown. Remember, I like giving two. Give me an Eagle and a Chief.
Kareem Hunt, 9-1. Jalen Hurts, 6-1.
Okay.
Yours?
You're going a little two condoms. I like going raw like Monday night on these.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dallas Goedert, 18-1. DeAndre Hopkins, 31-1.
I like that.
Come on, bro.
That's raw dog.
We're raw, like Monday night raw, baby. That's how we're going.
No baby oil.
How about this? Favorite prop over.
Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals. By far my favorite over.
I'm going to disagree with what you said before. I'm going with Kelsey over yardage, 61.5. This hasn't commanded a lot of attention yet, but I think it's the swan song for Travis Kelsey. I think he goes out with a bang. Yeah. I've even looked at plus 700, him to have 100 yards in this game. So, yeah, but over 61.5. What do you got? Your favorite over?
I hit you.
All right, so give me your favorite under.
Favorite under? Mahomes, longest pass, under 33.5 yards. He doesn't air it out like that, bro. And I think the Eagles are going to make sure that they don't have the top taken off. So 33.5 yards, it's like 1 yard higher than what I saw Jalen Hurts was at. That's the under that I'm looking for. What about you?
I'm going to betray our boy. I'm going under 110.5 yards on Barkley rushing. He could still have 105 and 3 touchdowns.
Facts.
But I think the big thing for Kansas City is going to be, let's not have this guy, to your point, Brian Cook, Bolton, no missed tackles, because then it's 60 to the house. Yeah. Right? So yeah, I'm going on the under there. How about this one? Out of pocket exotic prop. A lot of these you can't, it's not a box score, right? So like, bro, have I told you about my Golden Bridge in San Francisco bet?
No.
Oh my God. ISO camera, please.
Oh, is it?
If possible.
Okay.
If we could get an ISO on this one, would be fantastic. During Super Bowl 50, it was in San Francisco, and it was the Panthers and the Broncos. And I had put $900 to win $300 that the Golden Gate Bridge was going to be shown on the broadcast. Because I'm like, bro, it's the landmark in San Francisco. Now, I got so drunk before that game, I kissed my friend's TV when they showed Eli Manning, and I did not watch the Super Bowl live.
Wow.
Yeah, I was so hammered. I invited this girl to come watch the game with me, and she met all my friends. She met all my friends and hung out with my friends. She did not hang out with me because I was out. I was out. I remember I woke up, and the first thing I told my friend was like, bro, did they show the bridge? He's like, dude, the Broncos won the Super Bowl. I was like, did they show the fucking bridge? And he's like, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, you fuck. So I just opened up my app and they credited it. I was like, let's go. So that was one of the biggest. That was actually the biggest bet I ever made on a prop.
And where did you put that in at?
It was an offshore.
Offshore.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like a lot of these are like offshore.
So yeah, the one that I have, I got Euphoria to be Kendrick Lamar's first song at 6-1. I think Euphoria. I've seen Kendrick perform multiple times now. Kendrick's came out to the song Element before. So he likes like the slower paced type things. And I think Euphoria, it's the start of the diss track. So I think he starts the show with the diss track and he ends it with the diss track to kind of like tie it all together. But Euphoria at 6-1 as the first song. I like it. And it's rather like, it doesn't have to be heavily censored. I was keeping that in mind. I mean, there's definitely some songs.
Yeah.
There's some words that won't be said, but
yeah, a couple words.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
I mean, they knew what they were getting themselves into, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for that. Like, listen,
Facts.
you know what you signed up for,
Facts.
right? So if some crazy
Maybe
shit
they
pops
let
up-
it go. How crazy would that be?
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
that would be awesome.
We all want, by the way, we all want that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's your art. I hate when like artists have to, tiptoe
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
fucking the
I feel
words.
you about this one.
Hate that shit.
My exotic prop,
Mhm.
plus 900. I think he proposes to Taylor Swift after the game. Listen, last year it gained a lot of steam.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year it's a lot more likely because I know celebrities tend to rush into things a lot, but like now they've been together like a year and a half. There's some more substance to this one.
Very true.
Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl. I think he proposes regardless. But imagine like they win the Super Bowl, proposes, retire, bam. Like who has a better fucking ending than that? So plus 900, like I said before, I've made a lot dumber decisions in my life.
Right.
And I just think that this is, why not? I'm in.
So-
in. Swifties, let's fire up this algorithm, brother.
So sources have told me,
Okay.
by sources, I mean, Rachel, you could tell.
Okay.
Who, when she comes down to Vegas, she says she wants to come on.
Fuck yeah,
She's
let's
got
do it.
stories. She's going to be here in April. She's got stories about all the baseball players she dated throughout the years.
Whoa. Okay.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'll tell you all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, they're wild.
I'm trying to go viral.
Oh, it's gonna go nuts.
Let's
So
do
that'll
it.
be good. But anyway, sources, her, big Swiftie, she didn't win a Grammy. They're over the hype, bro. It's done. Taylor Swift not winning a Grammy. It low-key has me worried cheering for the Chiefs because I'm like, fuck, if that's the case, like, let's follow the signs, They don't give a fuck about this relationship anymore.
Wow. How dare you?
I'm just saying that was sources. And I confirmed my sources and she's like,
Listen, for those of you in
It's
the
over.
comments, the opinions reflected by George Carmona are his. I think people still care about this relationship. So attack. All comments are good comments.
Listen, all I'm saying is brace yourselves.
Brace yourself.
Okay. Always, ain't nobody safe.
Ain't nobody safe.
Luka got traded.
Hey, Luka got
All right.
traded. Luka got traded. Anytime touchdown parlay.
Yes.
Let's do this. You give one, I give one, and then let's combine one. All right. I'll give mine first. It's the same one that I said a couple weeks ago. Pacheco, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, and Travis Kelce, 112-1. So $10 wins you $1,120.
You have the app up, yes?
Yeah.
Could you calculate this for me?
Let me go to TD scores. Okay, talk to me.
Kareem Hunt,
Okay.
Juju Smith-Schuster,
Whoa. Okay.
AJ Brown.
45-1.
That's it.
That's good. Yeah. Listen,
Okay.
that's good.
So it's 45-1. I'm going Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster, AJ Brown, 45-1.
Fuck yeah, bro. I like this.
Yes.
I like this. All right, let's combine one now.
Okay.
Listen, I want to put Dallas and Hurts.
Okay.
2 Eagles.
Can we go like crazy wild on this?
We could do whatever you want to do on this one.
You went with 2 Eagles. Give me a Chiefs defense.
Wow. Bro, you know what bet I was really looking at? Both defenses to score. I was looking at one for both defenses to score, and it's 55-1.
Both defenses to score is only 55-1.
Yeah.
That should be 1,000,000-1. Are you fucking kidding me? I thought you were going to say something way more than that.
Plus 700 for the Chiefs to score anytime, and then I said Hurts and Goddard. Was that what you were saying?
Yeah.
65-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can live with that.
That's it.
I can live with
Screenshot
that.
it.
Oh yeah.
Screenshot. A little defensive love.
Yeah. Okay. The reason why I didn't say in this economy is because in this economy for me is I'm taking Kansas City on the money line, minus 120, minus 125. I'd rather just take that as opposed to the minus 1.5, even though, George, there are a lot of trends that favor just taking the points here. So it's been a trend of about 20 Super Bowls now that the winner has covered the spread outright. 20 of the last 21. The only one that didn't happen was the Rams. The Rams were 4-point favorites. They won by 3. Public sides are 11-10 straight up and against the spread since 2004. Mahomes played one Super Bowl without public support on the spread, and it was the one he won against the Eagles. The team that wears white jerseys have won 16 of 20 Super Bowls. The Chiefs are in white. And I really like Kansas City for a couple reasons. And mainly, it's the head coach and the quarterback. There is a massive advantage in their favor there. Mahomes has played 5 neutral site games in his career. He's 5-0 straight up and against the spread. And in the playoffs, he's 8-0 straight up and against the spread when he's an underdog or a favorite of less than a field goal. He hasn't lost in this spot. They're chasing history. If you think the refs are colluding in order to have Kansas City win, you like it even more if you're one of those people. I just think for me, it's the more experienced quarterback. Mahomes off rest, extended rest. He is 39-8 straight up.
Jesus.
And then you also know about Andy Reid coming off extended rest as well. His track record is also amazing, as my page just decided to refresh. 34-7 straight up. And with Mahomes, he's 29-3. So to me, I'm not going to get cute. I'll get cute elsewhere with the props. I'm going to just take Kansas City and the under. If you want to parlay both, you get plus 260. But for me, my play in this economy is Kansas City.
It's the right play. I think you all know at home, if you've listened throughout the entirety of this season, you don't want to feel stupid holding the ticket against number 15. And I'm with you on that. It's not my in this economy play, but my in this economy play has a strong tie to it, Nick. I like this whole world that we've generated. We're bringing the running back position back to where it used to be, Nick. Last year, we hype up Christian McCaffrey. He goes off. This year, Saquon Barkley, he goes off. And I like the theme of running backs going off. So I also like the theme of you always got to be ready for the unexpected and the unpredictable. We all think that Saquon Barkley is going to win Super Bowl MVP. It's his birthday. He's going to win Offensive Player of the Year, knock on wood, today. And in a wild world, I see Kareem Hunt getting 2 touchdowns, 85 yards, and being a key factor as to why the Chiefs win and getting votes to win Super Bowl MVP. It's in this economy because all it needs is just a little bit, just a little sprinkle on Kareem Hunt at 65-1 to win Super Bowl MVP. Hasn't been done since Terrell Davis for running back. And it would just be fitting. It's like it would kind of overshadow everything Saquon did this year. Like it would be the one piece that he wasn't able to achieve. He had the back juke that year. He was literally unstoppable. But a fun fact, did you know Kareem Hunt actually won Super Bowl MVP that year? That's what I'm trying to envision and prepare. So 65-1, 60-1 in some spots. That's my crazy in this economy play.
I fuck with it, man. Anytime you go off the rails, I love it. Listen, you gave us Taysom Hill ladder.
Yep.
And of course, it was the week that the video crashed, which
True.
was hilarious.
Very
But
true.
things happen. Technology happens. That's it, man. That's the Super Bowl preview. I got Kansas City 24-21.
I was going to say 27-24. I had a little Wim Hof breathing session earlier today, and I had my eyes closed, and I was just thinking of what's going to happen on the final possession, and it's going to be Harrison Butker kicking his second field goal of the game to cash it and to hit the correct score.
A double hit there.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I will bet all these straight up, but there will be one uncut gems fucking parlay that will change my life forever.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Bro, Super Bowl, when the Bengals lost to the Rams, I hit a same game parlay 300-1 at Cooper Kupp MVP, and then the Rams won the Super Bowl. That was like a $12,000 hit. It was crazy. Unbelievable. Good times. Hopefully we all print money this weekend.
Yes.
Thank you all for listening. Like I said earlier in the show, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. The show appreciates it. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know in the comments and in the Discord and on social media what your favorite bets are for the Super Bowl. A lot of content coming out this week. Like you see here, all things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. George, where can they find you if they want to contact you?
Boom. At Mr. George Carmona is where you can find me on Instagram. We are approaching 2,000 followers. Once I hit 2,000 followers, I heard once you hit 2,000, Nick, you're there. You're on your road to 100. Your next 100,000 followers is the easy part. Follow it, and then we'll see. We'll see if that's true.
At Nick Deus 10 is you can find me. Like I said, all things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. Enjoy the big game, and we'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.
I'm a gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be